My children take some lessons online. This is how our days used to go.
Dad! Daddy, my screen is frozen! Dad!
Dad this, Dad that. That's my poor connection cue. But today, I celebrate an end to these frustrations thanks to MTN 5G broadband. Now, lessons, family times, streaming our favorite shows, all working from are the easiest. Get on the train. Thank me later.
My daddy is the best in the whole wide world!
Because every second matters, you can do so much in a day with MTN 5G broadband. Create, connect, and keep winning with MTN 5G broadband. Visit shop.mtn.ng.
Morning, everybody. You're welcome to the Discourse with Jimi Disu, brought to you by MTN. Apologies first. The guest that we're supposed to have today, or one of the major guests we're supposed to have, we're supposed to discuss the issue of the president's plane. We haven't been able to contact him, and we don't know what has actually happened. But nothing is spoiled. The other guest is available, but I said no, instead of having half a program, we'll have a full program, so we'll take it up either Tuesday or Thursday next week. So it's not going to go away. Well, what were we going to discuss? We were going to discuss we don't know whether to say it's the government's decision or the parliament's decision, but in between the two of them is the same 10 and 10 pence. The decision to buy a new aircraft for the president in these current times. There's a quotation out there quoting the Senate president, but I don't know, I've not been able to authenticate it. And in these days, you do have to be extremely careful until I see a video, which I will study very well, where he has said what he said. Until I see that video, I just refrain from reproducing it because I don't believe that a full-grown man in that kind of position would make that kind of statement. So I just respectfully not comment on it. I know there's a strong resolution to buy this plane. I had said that I believe that the political class have this, what I would call a Milo conspirate, which is beyond it is my turn. It's like the spirit that says that whether you like it or not, it's going to be business as usual. And I'm not surprised to discover that if you would find, a member of the parliament in these times feeling so comfortable in the 160. So I'm sorry we keep repeating this thing, but it is something that is so significant we cannot ignore it. The optics you get from that is a non-caring political class, to be honest with you. If they want something, they're jolly well going to get it. Look at the scenario of this plane, for example. There are rumors out there that the plane has been ordered. Unconfirmed rumors say that the plane has been ordered and that it's an Airbus, and that all the livery inside, the seats and whatever, they've all been branded and it's good to go. How to deliver it to the Nigerian people in an acceptable manner is what I believe is the rigmarole that you see going up and down, which in itself, if that is what it was meant to achieve, is infantile. We have common sense. The fact that we are not senators or reps doesn't mean that we are not educated. We have common sense. We can discern. Sometimes you don't even need to be educated, to be discerning. I had said this from the very beginning when it was said that, the House of Reps have instituted a probe to find out the status of the plane and so on and so forth. I tell you what, and this is a challenge to my colleagues in the newspaper industry, especially, which is where I sprang from. For the days of Dele Giwa Repo them on Sunday papers. Even this same Bayon Onuga of today was a master at the job in those days. You'd have found the news, tempo, All you needed to do, all what our colleagues need to do, is put a phone call through to the manufacturers and the handlers of that aircraft and demand for a technical report on the aircraft. Pure and simple. You don't need a house of reps. You don't need all these things are just show, and it's the way we do things without deep thinking. Let the federal government produce the authenticated technical report from those handling this plane. And let us see the progression so we can follow it. Okay, let's follow the history of the plane. That the plane is 20 years doesn't mean it's no longer serviceable. Somebody said last week, which was confirmed, that Air Force One, the American plane, is 34 years old. I mean, it's like it's like you buy a car. So because I'm driving a 20 years back, Onyinye from 2024 is what? That would be in 1994.
20 years back?
Yeah, 20 years back.
No, that would be 2004.
Can you imagine? We have so many 2004 vehicles. Don't forget that these planes also depend to what use you put them to. How many hours has it clocked? This same plane will be used for commercial flights. Forget, the way it's been done on the inside. The engines and whatever are the same in that category. Some of them are they've been running, local flights, international flights. Only God knows. And to the best of my knowledge, 20 years is not too bad. And what we are saying is, in these times, now one thing that also I've noticed is people get it wrong. We get it wrong totally. We think the world judges us by our own values. What do I mean by that? You go for any of these IMF World Bank meetings, you find other delegations, some of them taking a taxi with the briefcase in their hand, going there because they're going there to beg. We said we want to go there to beg, but we want to go in the latest limousine to show that Nigeria is big. It's lack of thinking, infantile thinking. You want to show off where you have nothing. There is nothing about Nigeria that the foreign countries don't know about us, so forget all that one. Whatever show you put up, is your own, is for your own entertainment. So this, I was surprised to find out, for example, hey, a country like Kenya doesn't have a presidential jet. It doesn't stop them from being Kenya. Do you get what I'm saying? It doesn't stop them. It doesn't stop them from being a great nation. I am not too sure what arrangement you have with the United Kingdom, but what I've seen is that sometimes when the Queen travels, she charters a British Airways flight. These are practical things. You cannot be short and want to do the things that tall people do. You cannot show off in a world of today where everybody knows everything about you. It's like when I see people, maybe it's your daughter's wedding, you now go and hire a Rolls Royce, whereas, it's deceit, it's wrong thinking. But like I said, this political class specifically, they have, it's right through all of them, they all have this spirit of, it's my turn and I must get everything that is due me. And that's why, for example, you'd find, the legislators driving such a... You remember the interview that Seun Okibaloye had with one senator, very boastful man. So arrogant. When we were talking about cars of 160 million, he boldly said, well, Seun, you know that I have a car that is more expensive than that. Who cares? And so what? Who cares? One of the things we need to do is to resist this value system that people want to change, whereby it's just about money, 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 money. That's what it is. They have the wrong values. What he said that a tiger doesn't express its tigritude. I think that's who said, what was it, Leopold Senghor or someone? You don't know, you didn't do, Umachi. Anyway, good morning. A tiger doesn't express its tigritude. It's not about what you do on the outside, it's about what you do on the inside. You wear the most expensive clothing, but you live in a slum. Of what value is that? But we'll look at it. We will continue to contribute our own part, and we'll be matching them. We'll be matching all these political shenanigans. We'll be matching them with facts and what I will call superior reasoning. Look at the governor 3 days ago, for example. These governors that say they can't pay minimum wage, they were close to about 40 adverts in one newspaper alone. On the megalomania trip, all his commissioners, this one, DG this, DG Subeb, everybody full page. And I was corrected. Somebody said that I'm ancient. I'm behind time when I said that the average cost of a newspaper ad is 500. Who was it that said it? Was it Funshaw that said it? Said Babaiti Dagba. It's not 500, it's about 1 point something million. So if you multiply that by 4, it's a good bonus for the papers. They'll be more than happy, But in reality, frittering public, funds away for such megalomaniac. Is that Chimutabombe? Did I say it right? It is a Pan-Atlantic University. Okay, so we will take it up. We will take it up on either Tuesday or Thursday. I'll confirm, and we'll also allow your input. So go and do your study and criticism. A last word in case I forget on Tuesday or Thursday when we take up this issue. This is another subtle warning to the political class. Stop taking our people for granted. Stop taking our people for granted. At that last minute, you will discover that is those who are urging you on are your biggest critics internally. But they did that because of what they're going to benefit from you, and you find yourself alone. If anybody believes that this current trajectory that we have, this kind of behavior of the political class that we have, is going to go on forever, I can assure you from history it is not. A day will come when it will have to stop. How it will stop, when it will stop, is in the hands of the Lord. But I can tell you for free, a day will come when some of our political leaders will be biting their fingers that had I known. And I expect those who are matured amongst them and have seen a better part of life, I expect them to be able to tell the younger ones the truth. That this is, you cannot, people have spirits. In the eyes of God, all of us are the same. No rich, no poor. They have spirits, and they have what, in my own local whatever they call a leather, they have their own protective spirit. And at that point, since we all know that we are creations of the Almighty and will be answerable for some of the things that we do, I'm surprised. The same also applies to our religious leaders. Our pastors who are we know, let's go there. The Muslim clerics who took 91 billion, who allowed their followers to take 91 billion of the money that would have made this country better. They used it to go on their own personal pilgrimage, which is of no benefit to the society as a whole. And I wonder if it's of any benefit to them, because it is said, which I know for sure, that you should go on pilgrimage only if you can afford it. And it's amazing that people don't have that deep thinking that this money that you use to go to Mecca, to go around the Kaaba and say prayers, is money that should have been used to feed other people. And within your conscience, feel comfortable to do that. It's amazing. It's amazing the way our thought processes go. But like I said again before, we will do that. So what's the time now? 9:17. All right. So what we'll then do is look at what's going on in some of the papers, which I love doing better than even interviewing people. The Sunday Telegraph, for example, says that Kano government is wrong to have reinstalled Sanusi And we have some senior advocates of Nigeria who are saying that it is wrong. And I think it's time we here waded into that crisis to get some opinions. So we'll probably be looking for one or two lawyers, to take a good look and educate us, because it's a crisis. The crisis is so bad now, I don't even know how to explain it to you, because I want to be extremely careful. So rather than say something I shouldn't say, I'll leave it to the experts. So sometime this week, once we get the aviation one out of the way, we'll also be looking at what's going on in Kano, which is unprecedented. It's unprecedented. What I do know, or the feeling that I get, is that what you have in Kano is Sanusi is on one side, Bayero is on one side. The state government is on one side, the Nigerian is on another side. And Kano, a state that doesn't need any match to boil, is in between. And so you can see a crisis growing, you can see a crisis brewing. Who is going to break this? I honestly don't know. The Sons are insisting that court orders must be obeyed at all times, and that they now say no party take the laws into his hands. The court has given one order, the state wants to defy it. The court has ordered that Sanusi shouldn't have been. And what the state did in this sense is I don't know. When we get to that bridge, we'll be discussing that. How? Okay, so you change the laws that brings in a new you wipe out all the other emirs. Okay, why do you have to reinstall the first person? What's wrong with this one that you have? But I won't go further than that. Be very, very careful. Okay. Also, in the Saturday Telegraph, there's a story here that talks about a technical fault that has grounded British Airways aircraft in Lagos. The British Airways, these things happen, so there's no big deal about it. The plane came, developed faults, and thankfully, British Airways, decided to ground the plane. And what is most important, which is the most important element in this story, that safety measures were taken. Okay, so if you're a traveler of British Airways, I'd advise before you go to the airport, you put a phone call through to your agent. The Sunday Tribune also, the Saturday, why am I in such a hurry? The Saturday Tribune also has a story here that the cholera crisis is spreading. And that between yesterday and today, there's been a development. School meals have been suspended in Lagos Council area. But if you suspend school meals, what do you want them to eat? You want them to go outside to go and buy food? Because they will. They will. I would have thought that either you tell the kids to stay home for now, or you make sure that you put a strong premium on safety standards in giving out school meal. If you deny them school meal, I think it's even worse. I don't know what you think. I think it is even worse. There's some killing going on in Ekiti, and the residents are worried. And it also says here, this same Kano crisis, police tackle Kano governor over deposed emir. He ordered the police. You see why some of us say that this issue of state police needs to be properly examined. Imagine if you had state police in Kano. Where would we be? Just imagine if the Kano state government had a police force at its disposal. Where exactly would we be now in this crisis? Because it is said, I'm not there, that the governor gave an order that they clear the Bayero from where he is, and that they want to renovate the building. That's Fubara style now. They want to renovate the building and they should clear him out. And the police have said no. They said no. Why is it now that you want to renovate the building? You didn't want to renovate it. Why can't you wait till the end of this crisis, till resolution of the crisis, before you renovate the so-called building? You see, that's why you find I still maintain a lot of our political leaders have this emiloko. My order must be obeyed. I'm the governor. Do you know who I am? I'm the governor. Do you think it's easy to be a governor? We have a lot of megalomania making the rounds. You must submit yourself to the rule of law. There's no running away from it. My first port of call would be, all of you know who. My very good friend Candy Johnson is the first person I'm going to beg to see if he can make some sense out of what's going on. I tried to bring him, he dodged me. He dodged me. I'm going to try again. If I don't get him, I'm going to try. But the person I'm bringing must be a son in this particular instance. But he's always my first choice. So if anybody is listening, they should put a phone call through to him and tell him I'm coming for him. I will work with his timetable.
Looking for ways to save your data? It starts with your apps. Deleting unused apps helps, but there is more. Most apps have data saver modes. Activate them to control data usage. You can also go to settings to turn off auto updates. Lastly, close unused apps to save data when you ain't using your apps. These changes can make a big difference. For more information, visit your mobile operator's website or consumer.ncc.gov.ng for more helpful tips. Stay connected and enjoy smarter data usage. This message is brought to you by the Association of Telecom Operators and Nigerian Communications Commission.
Is your heart racing because your MTN line is blocked? You can't make calls. You can't receive calls. Not even text messages. Nothing at all? What about bank alerts? All these happened because you haven't linked your NIN to your MTN line. Unblock your MTN line today by linking it to your NIN. Rush to any nearby MTN store or agent. If you don't have your NIN yet, no problem. Simply go to any nearby NIMC office to get your NIN. MTN. What are we doing today?
And now, we are back on the Discourse with Jimi Disu.
Right. Even though we didn't go voluntarily, we are back. We are back. Sorry for that abrupt whatever. It's difficult getting a hang on these new automated systems that we have. I think there's a spirit in them. I have one small drink at home. It's in sachet, but it's the same drink anyway. With some snaps where I can watch also here, make I just come put small, to beg the gods. Okay, back to what we were doing. So we'll try and see if we can grab Candy Johnson. Independent talks about how frequent power outages increases household food waste and endangers lives. I think that issued a warning and said we shouldn't keep food in the fridge for more than 3 days. As soon as I heard that, I said, oh my God, half my fridge is going to be emptied. The Independent also reports that a certified copy of the court's judgment confirms Sanosi's sack, and INEC urges fair access to public facilities for campaigns. I don't think I have much interest in anything INEC. For as long as you have the kind of leadership we have in INEC, I've lost complete interest. So, sorry, but I'm only human. Okay. Some lawmakers are knocking the governors for silence, the other governors for silence over the crisis in Kano and in Rivers. I think the two states have been bound. They've been bound to the feeling since they left on their own to solve their problem. There's also, for those of you who are economic, recapitalization of banks. Since banks are jostling to attract investors and shareholders in fresh capital raising. Banks have to raise their capital and they're looking. So if you have some stash fund somewhere, that's a very good place to go hide. Just use it to buy shares in the bank and let it be there, one of the nice places to hide your money. Or you see someone who don't shop money, politicians, bury money inside, soak away, and so on and so forth. Sometimes it's best to just use it to mop up shares and investments and so on and so forth. But I think a lot of these thief people, they like to see the cash. It gives them a high to know that the dollar here is there because the funny thing is that God, he sees all these things and God is not stupid. It's on that day you will need that money that something will happen, you won't have access to it. I said something about our political class, for example. They take their minds off the health sector. They forget that because they feel so comfortable that I have enough money. My doctor is in Israel. My doctor is in Turkey. I have a very good doctor in Cuba. They have the best doctors. I can always fly there. You forget that you could have instances where you are not even in a position to be put on a plane. You know? We forget all these things. But that's a story for another day. There's also a story in The Guardian how sanitation inspection can check outbreak of cholera and other diseases. And yes, the forgotten hero. There's a controversy on the forgotten heroes of democracy. And the Daily Trust brings it to the fore and lists some names and some pictures about the forgotten heroes, those who fought for our democracy. Some of them are no longer with us. Some of them are alive but no longer with us. We don't even know where they are. Neither do we ask. Typically, we don't ask. For this Rivers State lockdown, there is a story here that, let me just read it out. It says that CLO 40 CSOs plan mass anti-police protests in Rivers. You know that Rivers State, their local governments are on lockdown now. The police are the police are they're guarding the place that until there's some legal resolution, they're not going to vacate the premises. Kelvin, I just got your WhatsApp message, and I'm going to ask you again. Maybe not today, but I want to see. You say you get big mouth. Let me see if you have, like he said, the liver to complete what I sent to him. Okay, so with some of these issues that we have, I'm now going to give you, so that it's not a monopoly or a monologue, I'm going to give you the opportunity to let's have your views on some of the things that I've expressed. 0201 277 0993 0201 277 1993 0201 277 2993 0201 277 3993, and the WhatsApp message, the WhatsApp number is 0809 597 5805. Okay, 0809 597 5805. Where's the WhatsApp monitor? Is it this one?
You can get it
I can get it there. Okay. By the way, we're also on YouTube and Facebook Live. So if you find that more comfortable, you want to check that. Okay, so I'll take the first call. Hello, good morning. Hello, morning. Morning.
Good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Pastor Ladiko, how are you? From Olilegon.
Yes, sir. Uncle Jimmy, I want to ask a question, sir.
Me? From me?
Yes, sir. How do you think the long-term military rule
Yes.
and the colonial kind of setting
Yes.
has a serious impact on those who are managing the affairs of this nation presently now?
But if it has an impact on those who are managing, why doesn't it have an impact on the followers?
Thank you, sir. You know what is happening to the followers now?
Yes.
The followers majority of them has been bought over with peanuts. And because of this, did you see what is going on in Kenya now?
Yes.
The youths
Yes.
are protesting.
Yes.
Now, if you dare wants to do anything, you will see people that will come and stand against you. And you begin to wonder, are these people not going through what others are going through? The reason is because the tactics of the colonial master then and the military people then was that just give a little to some people that can make noise. Then they will shut up and then you buy them over. You now use them against their own people.
Yeah.
I think that is what is playing out.
Well,
Because I understand.
what is happening? What I think is happening. What I think that is happening is that I just hope that Nigerians are not pushed to the wall.
Yes.
I watched a movie. There's a movie called Patton. It's about the life of a general. When he was addressing his soldiers, you know what he told them? He said,
No, sir.
he said, where you are going is enemy territory. He said, you are looking at me days now, wondering what you will do when you get there. When you put your hand in your friend's face, and what used to be his face is a battered head coming out in blood, you will know what to do.
It is well, sir.
It is well.
Thank you, sir.
I would like to, lend my voice to those who continuously warn our politicians not to take our people for granted. It is extremely important not to take everything in this world has a limit. Everything, and sometimes in cases like this, if you get to that limit, look at what's going on. Check out CNN and see what's going on in Kenya. Ready to confront tanks. You can also see, ironically, if you study it well, the reluctance of the people in the tanks themselves to go against the people. And so the government has had to backpedal. And once that happens, the people are going to be they'll be pushing further and further. So our political class should not take things for granted. Don't think you have everything under control. You don't. You don't. For as long as majority of your people are impoverished and you are not seemingly aligning with them, the first set of people to disappear when the cookie wants to crumble will be your healers. A word is enough for the wise. If there's nothing else, let them keep at it. What I find most disturbing is this idea that you think you can hoodwink the people. Like in this jet thing. I would have preferred if the government just said, look, we want to buy a jet, we want to buy a jet. When you do things like this, that you heighten people's anger, because the anger is now two ways. A, you want to spend that kind of money in these times, and B, you want people to think that they're stupid and they don't have an idea of what's going on. So it's we shall see. There's no ethic person here. Is there any ethic person now? Oh, so if I say this thing now, I might not say it well. Let's pick another call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir. Uncle Jimmy.
Morning.
Yeah, I'm Ibeto calling from Surulere.
Morning, Mr. Ibeto. How are you?
I'm good, my side, my brother. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to talk about the cholera.
Yes, go on.
Yes, it is one enemy in town now. There is in as much as there is much sensitization through the media houses.
Yeah.
I think I'm calling on government to take it down to the schools, primary schools and secondary schools. About let me put it this way: Operation Wash Your Hands. Operation Always Wash Your Hands. Now that we have it at hand right now, I think that let's take an urgent move to it, so that our children in schools, because when they leave home, they are in schools. So let the teachers continue take it as a point of knowledge to our children who are under their care within the school hours.
Okay, sir.
To keep telling them about always wash your hands. When they get back to school, to home, the student parents too should always embark on that, telling them about this.
Thank you, Mr. Beto.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Well, I can assure you that the government is doing all this sensitization they can do within their capacity. I like to be fair, but the issue of this cholera is beyond that. And the government is complicit in this. Where is potable water? Let's talk about Lagos. When was the last time you opened the tap and you knew that this water you're drinking? Because now, before we could get by with pure water and all kinds of things, because of the state of the economy, the production of all this pure water and bottled water has gone completely haywire. Fake water everywhere. So it's even beyond washing of hands, to be honest with you. Washing of hands has to do with the spread from person to person. What about, look, there was somebody here from the ministry. We were talking yesterday, for example, of Lagos Island. In Lagos Island, feces is poured into the lagoon. Feces is poured into the lagoon. There is no government water. So people dig wells and dig. And don't forget, even when you have your bath, for example, part of the water also trickles into your mouth, whether you like it or not. I mean, so let's face it. Yes, I agree with you, sir, Mr. Ibeto. You're right about washing of hands, but that's a minor part of it. The bigger part of it, the government hasn't. How can you have in 2024 a state that says it wants to be what was the word that Ambode used now? Say we want to be is it an electronic state or whatever it is, a modern state in Nineveh, and you don't have pipe-borne water. You don't have pipe-borne water even in your schools. I remember when I was living as a small child in Yaba, which was not a highbrow area, we had water flowing. If we had what we call Idiodo, we had public tap. I mean, this basic, that's why I say that, look, our political class will wreck us if we are not careful. How can our politicians justify, with all what they have, the closeness to the cookie jar, you can't provide simple water for your citizens? You can't provide electricity. They have to go and buy a better pass my neighbor. Now a better pass my neighbor is no longer buyable. Okay, so what do you have? You don't have water, you don't have light. Food is expensive. Transportation, name it. Look at the transportation in Lagos. Shameful. And any government would approve some of these downfalls and things. Because they don't have to take this. How many times have you, those of you who travel a lot, go to the UK, for example, how many times have you met VIPs standing side by side with you in the tube? In Nigeria, once it's for the poor people, forget it. You can throw anything at them. The public transportation system is geared towards sustaining what? Sustaining the business or the comfort and health of our people. Just look out of your window, or if you're in a vehicle, look at the downfall and whatever, and you know that that vehicle you are seeing was approved by government for public transportation. And then you better just not fall sick in this state or in Nigeria as a whole. You better just not fall sick. Your sickness, always pray that God, I know I will be sick, but do not let it be beyond malaria. That's why you find a lot of people when they die. You ask them, Kilogwa Baba Maramo. They said they didn't know. They told us to take him back home. Kalotiti labor. It's not that the doctors don't know. I've always said that. How can the doctor tell you that we don't know what it is? It's because the doctor knows that if he tells you what it would take to cure this gentleman, which he is sure you don't have, just looking at you, he'd rather just tell you something, just get that person out of my hospital. Then he will hear something like, we don't know what was wrong with him. Doctors always know what was wrong with anybody. Don't ever join them in saying that phrase again. He died, but the doctor said they didn't know. They know. But there's nothing they can do about it. So on all fronts, to be honest with you, on all fronts, we're a captured species, and only God will help us. 9:41. Do I have other callers? Yes, I do. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Morning, sir.
Yeah, Peter Monse from Shomolu.
Yes, sir.
Please, I want to ask, what determines what? In this case, I mean, is it practices that determines what a name of those practices should be called, or it is the name that should practice what should be or should determine what should be the practices? I come up this way. When we say democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people, meaning that the people have the greater say. Or is it that the practices of the politicians that should give a name to either democracy or we find something else. Because if something happens and Nigerians say, no, we don't want this, don't do this, and the politicians keep doing it, are they giving another name to democracy? Or should it be the democracy that should determine what they do? That's exactly what I'm asking, sir. Thank you.
I have an answer for you. It's a pity I don't have a guitar here because it's something I could have played. Is in one song. There's one song like that. I don't know who sang it. It's an old song. I don't know whether it's one of these Simon and Garfunkel songs. Have you heard this? No, you are not. I keep thinking that you are not classmates in uni. Like I forget the age difference. There is this song. It talks about how many times will I do say then, and then there's a refrain. It's the refrain I want to sing for this gentleman. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Let me tell you. I'll tell you my views. Let me tell you. People need to suffer up to a point. Then the eye go clear. And we are getting very close to it. We're getting very, very close. It's been on. It's not peculiar. It's not peculiar to this. It's been on. It's not peculiar. It's not a Bola Tinubu thing. It's been on. It's a political class thing. It's been on. You know, and don't worry. Well, okay. Let me use the word of my favorite Aburo. Even though I criticize him, he's my Aburo. I like him so much. Festus Keyamo. He will say, when the jungle matures. When the jungle matures. Let's take another one, Jerry. Hello, good morning. Morning.
Yeah. Good morning, Mr. Jimi Disu.
Morning, Oga. How are you?
I greet you, sir.
Yeah.
My name is Apruchku.
Yes.
Okay, I always say this. Had it been people like you and I are in the affairs of this country,
yes,
this place will have been a better place to live.
You think so?
I mean, yeah.
If now let me and you did here.
I mean,
go on. I'm just teasing you.
Okay, my brother. You see, I just want to talk on Liver State. For God's sake, why must police still be in that place? What are they still doing there? But at times, it's not their fault. They are working on instruction from the above.
Okay, sir, can I cut you there? I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
So the police are there to protect the law. Fair enough. What do you think would have happened if you had the state police that is answerable to the governor?
Well, if we have state police.
Yes. If let's say the governor has his own state police, even in Kano, if we had state police in Kano, what do you think would be happening?
Honestly, I can tell you the state police will be under the federal police because we can assume now the police we are having now is federal police. You understand
that's
me?
Food for thought.
So the federal police, they will be taking orders from the federal police as well because this instruction is from the top, from the above. So that's what they are doing. They are obeying the instructions. It's not supposed to be that. It's not good news for this country.
Okay,
honestly.
Sir. All right. Thank you very much, sir.
People have done for their due. They are due for their office.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate your contribution. It was quite. It's something for us to think about, though. What if you had state police, especially in Kano, where especially in Kano, where the police are not they're not carrying out the directive of the. Probably, if you had state police, wouldn't he have told the state police to go and dislodge the Emma from the Nasarawa, whatever it is? Okay, so it's 9:46. We just have about 4 more minutes. How many more minutes? 7 minutes. We have 7 minutes. And then we'll round up from there. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, how are you?
Uncle Jimmy, this is Malik speaking.
Hey, Malik, how are you? Uncle
Jimmy, if we have state police in the Kano, the emir, the other one could have been thrown away to the zoo by now.
Okay.
I am telling you.
All right. Okay.
Uncle Jimmy?
Yes?
Quick one, please. There's this movie called Braveheart, and there's another movie called Escape from Sodubor.
Yeah, I saw that one yesterday, by the way. Yeah, go on.
Nigeria needs to see that freedom is not given to you. It will never. And the rich will never bow for the poor. And the poor makes the rich richer.
Yeah.
By the time when you take wheelbarrow to go and buy bread, 10 naira, we will have that sense. Venezuela is in mess, and we're chasing them behind. And you know how we are, Uncle Jimmy?
Yes.
We're like Akara.
Okay.
That oil, we go fry. We no care.
Okay.
Good morning.
All right. Shewolota, thank you very much. That song that I sang just now, I didn't know it was the Beatles that sang it. Yeah, I know that the one of All We Are Saying was a John Lennon something. All we are saying, But so, are you sure this Blowing in the Wind is by the Beatles? Well, I defer to you temporarily. So if it turns out that it's wrong, I hold you responsible. Thank you very much. So let me take another call. It's still 9:47, so we are still within the minute. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yes, morning.
This is Odede.
Yes, Mr. Odede.
From Agbado.
Why did you mention this Agbado thing at this time now? But please go ahead. Okay, go on.
I wish I can.
I know you can't take where you live.
That if when people are pushed to the wall, they are likely to respond. I think, personally, I don't think Nigerians were likely to show any response, even when we are pushed to the wall. You know, I think what we will do is just to surrender ourselves for the slaughter. Because from what one can see, I can see in my community. You talked earlier about people being taken to the hospital and the doctor saying that maybe they don't know what there is wrong. A lot of people are dying needlessly.
Yes.
Just because they cannot afford medications of 5,000, 10,000 naira.
Yes.
You know, and you will see family members of these people still trying to, some of them see, because maybe of their sentimental attachment to those who are in the leadership position, still defending their tormentors.
Yeah, okay. Your point is known. 1 minute is up.
Yeah.
There's a problem here for me. Oshenwolota, you said it's Beatles, but I think I'll go with Akifatunke's submission, and that is Bob Dylan. And that it was, he even puts a date to it, 1962. And that it was Bob Dylan that. So what is all this now? I think I'll go with Akifatunke. We are on your own. Do not mislead me. Okay, can I 9:50? Let me just take a quick last caller and then I'll be out of here. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Quickly, you have just a minute, please.
Yes, the song was done by Bob Dylan.
Okay, fine. Fine, I'll go with you. That's where we'll end our program for today. Am I a bit too early? How many more minutes do I have? 3 minutes. I hate this thing jumping on me. I'm not. Let me leave in 2 minutes so he can do what he likes. So we'll be back again by his grace. I'll be back in the studio on Tuesday at 7:30 with my main man, my twin brother, Sheriff. And hopefully that same Tuesday we will look at either of two things. Either I will be able to pin down Candid Johnson and see if we can get his views on the Kano thing, or it will be the pilot issue. All that I'll resolve between now and tomorrow. But then you know that what you're going to have, of course, is something that you will find educative and you'll find enjoyable. Shout out to all of you out there. Thank you very much for all your support. For those who have called me knowing one or two things that I'm going through, I like you all. I appreciate you very, very much. And to the rest of you, enjoy your weekend. Did you watch France and Netherlands yesterday or more? What a match. So I'm running back home now to get my popcorn ready. Watch about 3 different first grade matches. Okay, Onye, thank you very much. This hair, I don't know. Is this one Folocom or... It's not Folocom. Where did you buy this one? Yaba or AG? You bought it on Instagram. I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye-bye.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.